Hi everyone, welcome to How to Get into TV, Radio and Film. This week, I'm delving deep into the wardrobe department. More after that, right after this. She's at the early stages of her career, so that means she's got a lot to share with you on how she's going about finding work and how you can do that too. She's a costume designer, she's a costume maker, and she's currently working as a wardrobe assistant. Welcome, Giorgia Lombardo. Hi, Giorgia. How are you?
Hi, hi, Samina. I'm all good. Thank you.
It's great to have you join me today. Thanks so much for making time. So listen, I'm very curious. Like, why did you choose costume design? Why?
Why I choose costume? Well, it's a good question. Well, from my early, I would say my childhood, I prefer fashion at the beginning. So I was always do costume for the Barbies and drawing and stuff like that. And then this passion I keep developing during the years till I get in the high school, college.
Giorgia,
in Italy, and then
Giorgia,
I developed when I came to
Giorgia,
UK, and I was like, okay,
Giorgia,
maybe.
sorry, I have to
Yeah,
stop you.
yeah.
You cut off.
Oh,
It's so annoying. I don't know what to do, you know.
I don't know, because sometimes it's you cutting off, sometimes it's my I have the line at the moment. It's working.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what the problem is. Have you got some other things open on your laptop? Can you close any other apps that you've got on your laptop?
Yes.
Okay, we are recording now. All right, here we go. Nice and still. Let me get straight to it and introduce my guest. She's at the beginning of her career, at the early stages of her career. So she's got a lot to share with you all about what she's doing to get into this business, get work, so that you can take some of that on. She's a costume designer, she's a costume maker, and she's currently working as a wardrobe assistant. Welcome, Giorgia Lombardo. Hi, Giorgia.
Hi, Samina. Hi, everyone.
Oh, lovely to have you. Thanks so much for making time for me and us today. So listen, I'm very curious. What made you go into wardrobe, into costume?
Well, I start in my childhood when I start to make dresses for the dolls, and then I started drawing, I start to design things, and then I keep going with my passion till my college and high school, and where I learn in fashion and all the fashion for the industry, so all the business for fashion and also the design. And then I developed this passion, and I say, okay, hold on, maybe Italy is a bit smaller for the thing I want to do. And then I was also interested to the theater, and I realized with my design that I was more into the theater than fashion. And that's why I moved to London and I joined to the university. And I'm currently doing the university at the moment for costume.
So you came to the UK from Italy because you felt there might be more opportunity for you here. And I know you're passionate about theatre, but your passion isn't just for theatre. You want to work in TV and film as well, right?
Yes, it's correct. I would like more develop in film, in costume, and yes, why not other opportunities as well? Why not musical videos, or also in a museum if I have the chance?
Yeah, and you know what? These skills are transferable. And talking about skills, share with me, you know, if there's others out there joining us today and they're really passionate about clothes making or designing. For this kind of world, the wardrobe, working in costume design, do you have to be able to pattern cut and be able to sew and design clothes?
Yes, it is like that, actually. Yes, you have to learn also all the historical part, and then also try to learn the character and what actually should be on the stage, and also all the pattern making, all the studies for the design, and also all the, why not all the design for the trends and all the research behind of the character.
I think if somebody's passionate about working in costume, I think that comes naturally anyway. You want to find out more. You want to know what's happening in the industry. So I think what I'm getting from what you're saying is if you want to work in costume, you've got to have a natural passion for it, because you can't force it. Otherwise, it means a lot of study and discovering something.
Yes, and you have also to be passionate about learning stuff and be curious. And this is a skill which is transversal for every job you can do in the industry. Not only in the industry, but I think in any job, you need that curiosity to learn and learn as much as possible every single time, and not stopping just and be closed-minded and not learn anything else.
So I just want to touch on something you said earlier, that about pattern cutting, being able to sew and design. Is that absolutely critical? You have to have those skills, otherwise you can't work in costume? Or could some people work in costume without knowing how to sew, but they know they're very organized and they can help out like that?
Well, there are all the departments inside the costume. So yes, you can actually only be a designer, or only be a pattern maker or a cutter, or you can do wardrobe assistant, which is I'm doing at the moment, which is organize everything what is going to the scene and taking different part of the clothes. So not only from not only creating the clothes, but also find out in a charity shop. It can be in other shops as well. So it's many part of it.
Okay, so let's just talk about your role, wardrobe assistant. You're working currently in theatre, but with the ambition to work in TV and film. And what I want to convey to everybody is this is about seizing opportunities. So doing wardrobe or costume design, whether it's for theatre or TV, it's all interchangeable. What you learn in theatre, you can definitely transfer over to TV and film. So if any of you get an opportunity to work in theatre like Giorgia, and I'm sure Giorgia will advise you just to go for it, right, Giorgia?
Yes, exactly. Is all the things you can learn in costume, you can transfer it to TV, you can transfer to films, you can transfer to the theater, you can transfer to the museum, as long you are curious to learn the stuff that actually the people can propose to you.
Exactly.
And dealing with different situations.
So you're a wardrobe assistant at the moment. So you alluded to some of what your role involves. So can you just give a breakdown, a typical day? So you arrive at work, what do you do?
When I'm arriving at work, I have to all put back all in the storage, and then check what I have to put into the laundry and what I have to alter it before to storage back in the archive. And once I plan all everything before I'm doing all the laundry, so during I'm waiting for the laundry, I'm doing all the stuff which is taking all the alteration and start to do all the alteration, and also allocate back in the storage.
So there's a lot of responsibility here, and also you've got to be cool with domestic work, doing laundry, because people wouldn't think, oh, I work on a TV or film set or in theatre and I have to do the laundry if I'm costume, but the clothes have to be washed because the actors wear them, so they have to be washed as well, right?
Yes. Well, it cannot be stay there without washing at all, or without be alterated, because it cannot possibly fitting on the next stage.
So the alterations can be what for people, because they're different sizes. So if two actresses are playing one role and they take it in turns, then you have to adjust the size, or if there's a rip, you have to sew it. So alterations like this or something else?
Yes, or something more complicated than that sometimes. Sometimes it can be the clothes is it's kind of going to be a waste. So you have to make, it's kind of recycle procedure. So you have to make reusable again. So you have to stitch back the things, you can dye back the things, because sometimes you can lose the color during the process of the laundry. So you have to make the dress usable again. So it's no simple just alteration for just a size, but it can be something more than that.
Oh, that's really interesting to know. So what I'm getting is you're responsible for alterations, you're responsible for looking after the clothes, keeping them in storage, bringing them out of storage. Is there anything else in the role?
Yes, you are responsible for choosing the costume going on stage, and you are responsible if something is not well, if something can get lost during the stage, and if it get lost, you have to find the replacement. Sometimes it's not easy, even if you get lost something, because sometimes we hire the things, so it's not always we have storage inside.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to pick a responsible for it. So if the whether you can buy the costume everywhere basically, but where you can hire the costume is a specific place. So it's a specific company that can hire you.
Different, productions, whether it's theatre, whether it's TV or film or music video or whatever, what if they want something from the 1900s or the 1980s? Then it's your job to go and find those clothes that represent that time, correct?
Yes, and you have also to speak with the director, because sometimes they want like 80s, sometimes modernized 80s, so you have to check always with the art director what actually want on stage.
And then what are the next steps? So you've spoken to the art director, like, what do you want? What kind of time, era do you want to represent? Is it the 1950s or whatever? So you get that understood. Then how do you go about finding these clothes?
Well, usually we do our research, and usually we have all our sources from back school. So we know exactly where we can go to find some certain type of dresses, or sometimes we have to invent again and recycle again what we found. So we're not always keeping the same the costume. We can change and modify in base of the art director what say to us.
That's really interesting. I always find that very interesting part of this job. I've worked with costume designers over the years, and I'm always like fascinated, like, wow, they have to find this look or make this look. So it's a very creative job. So tell me, what do you love about your work?
Oh, I love everything. I love everything. I'm at the moment a wardrobe assistant. Maybe some people doesn't love the part of washing up or maintain all the storage, because it's kind of, I would say, cleaner job probably, but it's interesting to figure out how to storage the dress by yourself. There's sometimes you have to be creative. That every single day is not exactly the same. And you don't have a routine. Is everything changing every single time you have a new problem, you're learning something new, and then you can do a lot of research.
Oh, that's amazing. So for all of those joining us today, you want a day that's every day is different, it's full of variety, then this could be the role for you. So Giorgia, we talked about what you love about it. It's pretty much everything. But what are the challenges? Like, what I'm trying to get out is an honest account of what the challenges could be.
Well, it is the challenge. It can be the budget. You have to stay in order to respect all the costs for all the stage. And another challenge, it can be the deadline. it can be strict deadline, and you have to working during night and days and refuse to sleep sometimes because it's really short deadline. They need the things quickly and in a really cheap way, and sometimes you cannot find also the cheap way to do the things.
So this is interesting. I know that you have ambitions to work in TV and film, dramas, you know, and films. But theatre, you know, it doesn't seem that much different, because the TV industry, the film industry, very long hours. And when you've got a deadline, or when you've got to hit a certain budget or deliver on something, it's not that different. The hours you got to put in, if it's like you have to do overnight, you got to do overnight.
Exactly, yes, it's no different at all. You have always deadline to respect, and you have a budget to set in and no pass over, because nobody gonna pay the over to you. So you have to respect that things, and sometimes they're really difficult.
So tell me, you know, for those who are joining us today who were like, you know, yeah, I want to get into costume design, and, you know, I can sew, or maybe I want to learn how to sew. So what advice can you give anybody who wants to come into this business to do costume?
Well, as I know, long time ago, people used to just learn and doesn't do any degrees. But nowadays, people, they keep asking for degrees. So as to just to go to a good university that you can learn a lot, and also practicing yourself up outside the hour of university, in order to be more practical and then more expert about. Do your research, be always curious, and enjoy what you're doing.
And may I add something to this? Because I do know I know a couple of costume designers, you know, and it's great. I think it's great advice that you've given, you know, to go to university. You can learn a lot. You can learn how to pass and cut. You can learn how to sew, everything. But I think some people, you know, that comes to them naturally, because the people I know, they're just experimented themselves, and they can pattern cut really well. You would think they've been to, you know, had special training, but they haven't. So I think also there's room in this industry for people who have a self-taught, you know, they didn't go to university, but they learn themselves. There's still an option for those as well, because what I'm trying to do is, you know, I don't want people to think who are self-taught that there isn't a place for them in this business, because there certainly is.
Yes, no, it is some plans and program for who is in a school leave, so they can enter and join and have a more experience from that.
So
Yeah,
so tell me, you know, what are some of the steps? Like, what steps have you taken to find work? Did you have to show something? Did you have to show drawings or show examples of clothes you made? What can you just talk us through the steps so that those who are joining us can go, oh, okay, I can maybe do that too?
Yes. The main things, we have social media to show, so like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. It can be useful, and keeping always updated, having a portfolio.
What kind of things are you adding onto social media?
I adding my work, my design, the procedure that I get to do the design to the final product. I'm sharing also. I have a website where you can have your own portfolio to attach the link on the CV. It's really useful also. And yes, write about in your CV and your cover letter what you can do and what skills you got.
So basically giving evidence of what you're capable of doing.
Yes.
Well, listen, Giorgia, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for giving us an insight into your world as working as a wardrobe assistant. Thank you so much for sharing what you have. And I wish you all the best in your endeavors to expand your career into TV and film as well.
Thank you so much, Samina. Thank you everyone for following us.
Oh, thank you so much. You're very welcome. That was Giorgia Lombardo. And if you feel she really added some value to giving you an insight into how you can follow in her footsteps, then please do give this video a thumbs up. As usual, I'm really passionate to hear about you and how you're getting on. And if you are pursuing getting into the costume or design departments of theatre, TV or film, then do let me know how you're getting on. And obviously I'm happy to hear from everyone. For more details of all kinds of different roles, interviews that I've done with other industry professionals, please do subscribe to my channel, hit that bell icon, and you'll be kept up to date every time I post a new video. It's been such a pleasure having your company today. Thanks so much and see you next time.